hour and 50 minutes. I'll be doing a radio hit on KNBR talking about the Kings and Warriors. It was the least I could do. Because remember, Jason, Sactown Sports, we are the home of the 49ers now.
Correct.
But not today. Today, we are the home of the Sacramento Kings taking on the hated, our new rival. They would take on the Golden State Warriors. And nobody's more synonymous with Bay Area sports than our dear friend who joins us each and every week during football season and making a special appearance today, Greg Papa.
I feel like Greg called it. Did he say, let's get together when the Kings and Warriors meet?
Yes, he did. Good morning, sir.
So you're coming on my show, Dave. Good morning, Jace.
Good morning.
At 10:50.
Yes.
Jason, I've been sitting at my desk for 62 minutes waiting to come on your show because Dave texted me, you want to come on at 8 a.m.?
Yeah.
We always do it during that. I've just been sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
I made the great Greg Papa wait. I feel so terrible.
Yes, I have all my thoughts. So he invited me on the show, and I said, you come on my show. So he made a trade, kind of like the Mitch Richmond, Billy Owens trade years ago.
Am I going to be appearing at 11:50 now?
You don't want to discuss all the time. You know what I was thinking of? That the best players to play for both franchises, if we went around the court and picked a team, Chris Webber obviously would be. Are we going to play him at 4 or are we going to play him at 5?
Mitch at the 2.
Sharunas Marshalonis?
Sharunas Marshalonis, yes. You got it.
That's in there.
Mike Bratz, did he play for both? Did Mike play for? I know he coached in Sac.
Yeah.
Was he a Warrior?
I think he played here. I think he did play here.
DeMarcus?
DeMarcus Cousins, the boogeyman. You got it. You're going with me. So he played Cousins at 5, Webber at 4. Did Billy ever play there, or he hold out and never show up?
He showed up.
He tried.
Yeah, I think Marshalonis maybe is the 3 and Mitch is the 2.
Yeah.
Well, I put Billy at 3.
Okay.
And the backcourt would be Sharunas at 1 and Mitch at 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a pretty good team, wouldn't it? Wow, that'd be great. And who's going to coach? What is it about Sacramento Kings ownership taking all the form from Saintly one to Eric Musselman to Rick Adelman to Luke Walton to Alvin Gentry to who else am I missing? Obviously Mike Brown is after Rick. I mean, it's like one guy. Even Michael Malone was a Warrior assistant coach. I mean, it goes on and on. So who's going to be the head coach, Adelman or Mike Brown?
I can't remember. Did George Karl ever coach the Warriors?
George Karl?
Yeah.
Did George Karl ever coach the Warriors? Are you kidding me? Are you that young to say that?
I think it's
at the end of the NBA taught me how to drink.
Adelman or Mike Brown's like choosing one of your kids. Like I don't know what to do with that. They're both so.
Well, I mean, as far as success,
then
overall,
Adelman.
It'd be George.
Oh,
George
you're right.
George is the best coach of all of them, but Rick was funny. Rick had no, on a bus, team bus, the head coach takes the seat right in front. Rick did not. He'd sit like in the second row and read a book. He never said a word. Latrell Sprewell was amazing. We were playing in San Jose one year. We're playing Chicago when they, redid the arena. And Sprewell literally shows up for the game against Michael and the Bulls. I forget what the exact score was, but it was like, 24-4. And he walks into the arena and we're all looking, where's Sprewell? Does he know what time it is? And he literally, Rick didn't even look Rick Adelman's way. He just walked right past Rick and checked himself into the game. I'm like, you just showed up for the game 45 minutes late, and we're down 20 points when you got here. So Rick was just a very passive guy, but obviously when he went to Sacramento and his offense he had from Portland and the ball movement stuff, I mean that was a great, watching Sabonis play now, and you guys had Divac and Webber together. That's probably the two best, high post passers at 4 and 5 in the history of the NBA on the same team.
So, Greg, as you've talked about this series all week, as you look at it, as you prep for it, what's your read? What's your read on how this one might play out?
I'm not sure. I have great respect for Sacramento. I mean, obviously, guarding De'Aaron Fox is going to be the first priority. Just watching some of the earlier games this year, and Steve is so clever with the way he matches up, and Mike ran it for years, and Ron Adams. Draymond Green guarded De'Aaron Fox a little bit in the most recent game they played November the 17th. That makes perfect sense because you got that pick and roll with Sabonis, obviously, and then if they switch that, then Draymond's on, Domas. So that makes sense there. I wonder if Gary Payton II will start and match up with Fox. One thing is Mike Brown, and he always ran the Warriors substitution pattern with the laminated cards, and I'd always ask him what his theory here and there. De'Aaron Fox, why does he only play the first half of the first quarter, and then he comes out, and then he comes back in and starts the second quarter and plays the entire second quarter, did the same thing in the second half, and that's why he's the leading scorer in the NBA in the fourth quarter, because most stars don't play the entire fourth quarter because they played a lot of the third. So if he continues to do that, then you could start Gary Payton II and match up with him for the first half of the first quarter, and then, figure out how you want to guard him in the second quarter. Draymond does make sense. I'd keep Steph away from him just from a foul problem standpoint. And then, you got to stop his dribble penetration. The biggest problem the Warriors have had all year is getting beat off the dribble and getting scrambling into rotations. And then you got 3-point shooters all over the place. And then out of the half court, Sabonis is so much like his dad. Arvinas was such a great player. And when he finally made the NBA, he was crippled. He hardly could walk. But he did a lot of what his son does. And just the way they hold the ball up high. You see the old school guys. Bill Russell did that. Clifford Ray with the Warriors did it. And, they call it the DHO, but he does it with the handoff where he's bouncing the ball. It's kind of like football where, on those the jet sweep is a handoff, but the jet pass is a forward flip. And a lot of time when you're flipping to a wide receiver, you want to flip the ball in the air. He's used to catching the ball rather than taking a handoff. And the way Sabonis just in the DHO game and the Herder handoff, he does it just like his dad. He just bounces the ball and he doesn't even hand it. And he's just so amazing as a passer. And then he's a problem in the post. Kavan is going to have to play, I think, a little bit more here because of the size. He's so big and strong. I've never seen a guy so one-handed, though. John Lucas, going back years and years ago, John was so left-handed he could almost, tie his right hand behind his back. He never used it. Sabonis is almost to that. I see him very seldom even dribble the ball with his right hand. So I'm sure the Warriors will push him to his right as much as they can. But he's so strong, and he gives you the constant ball fakes and pump and step through. And he's not a leaper, so he's so clever. I just love that guy's game. Can he guard on the other end? They're going to make him get into action with a pick-and-roll game and try to isolate him on Steph and see if he can guard. If he does the drop coverage, he'll be in trouble. But obviously, De'Aaron in the open floor, the Warriors can't turn the ball over and fuel his speed. And then Sabonis in the half court, and then just all the shooters that you guys have around these two great players.
Greg Papa with us. All right, so we've up here, as have been hearing, and I get it. This is David Goliath. Maybe we can push it 5 or 6 games. Warriors are clear favorites. But let me ask you, because this team so well, the Warriors so well, and the Kings. If we're talking in a couple of weeks and the Kings have won the series, in your mind, how will they have done that?
The Warriors playing sloppily with the ball. And there's a lot of factors where they could win. I mean, they won more games this year, Dave. They're a better team, and if you guys started 0-4 and you kind of kicked the end of the year, you could have gotten to 50 wins and beyond. You've had the better year. You're for a young team. The Kings are a tremendous road team. You play with poise. So there's a lot of ways you guys could win the series. I think the biggest factor in this all is, and it reminds me a lot of Super Bowl 37 when John Gruden was coaching Tampa Bay up against the Raiders and Bill Callahan and Al Davis. And we got into, we know John's tendencies as a coach and all of that, which is true. The Warriors know Mike Brown. He's run defensive meetings. They know him. But the real advantage is Mike's knowledge of the Warrior roster and everything they like to do, and more importantly, things they don't like to do. So Mike knows the Warrior players a lot better than Steve and his coaching staff know Sacramento's players. And we know Harrison Barnes when he was a younger player, but he's a different guy now. And you get scouting reports and tendencies. Sabonis is left-handed, push him to his right. But that's just, superficial compared to what Mike knows. Mike knows every single thing the Warrior players are good and not good at. And, like the pet things the Warriors do offensively, the split action. They will post Draymond Green. Jonathan Kuminga will do it some. They can do a lot of guys. When it's Draymond, though, and they run it, he posts up, but he's not looking to score. He's looking to pass out of it, and they run a split cut out of it. And, the whole league knows about it. The Warriors do it over and over again in the half court. But Mike will know exactly, what their tendencies are off of that. You take the Warriors split action away, that is a big part of the Warrior half court offense. So, can Mike, download the intel into his players' brains? Yeah, I think to some degree, then it's up to the greatness of the Warriors. That's the beautiful thing about basketball. It's dance, it's choreography, and you step there and I step here. And so the Warriors have the ability to adjust. And then, how do they handle the high drag series when Draymond comes up high to set the screen for Steph? And they're pet things the Warriors do over and over again. But mainly it's just their open floor. But I think the interesting thing will be, how does Mike Brown coach this? When does he go to it? Does he trap Steph Curry? How aggressive is he to do that? When does he go to, he kind of brought out the box and won against Luka last year in the Western Conference Finals. When do they do that? Can you box and one the Warriors with their shooters and triangle into them at times, go to a zone, which the Warriors, lost a championship in Toronto going against that, but they've seen it more and more now. They use it a lot more thanks to Mike. There's definitely I don't see this as a sweep either way. I think this is obviously the talking point is that Sacramento's young. They don't have the playoff experience outside of Harrison Barnes and Mike. But I think the real, I don't want to say equalizer, but the fascinating element to this is not just Mike coaching against Steve. It's Mike coaching against Steph and Draymond and Clay and Kevon. And he just knows the Warriors personnel so well, the way John Gruden knew the Raiders in Super Bowl 37.
That's Greg Papa. We are looking forward to this matchup, as he predicted many weeks ago. And friend, I will be talking to you in about an hour and a half. I'll take off the home jersey, put on the away jersey, and here we go.
Oh, did I say 10:50, Dave? My producer just texted me. I think we're going to say no. I'm kidding.
11:50.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We want to do it. Yeah. When was the first time we brought this up?
You did. You were on it pretty early.
You were on it. It was during
maybe
football.
when the Kings beat the Warriors those first two times, or when you beat them one time, November 13th when they won, right? And they got on a bit of a roll. Yeah, I love Mike Brown. That guy's cool, and he changed a lot when he was here. So we're not going to be rooting for him now, but we rooted for him all year, and he had a chance last Friday if he plays his guys. Maybe the Warriors or the way it went down, I think we'd still have this matchup. But This is fun. I mean, I moved here to the Bay Area right around the time the Kings moved from Kansas City to come to Sacramento. I remember Arco 1, before Arco 2. And so this is something we've been looking forward to for a long time. So let's just enjoy it. It's a Northern California basketball festival for the next couple of weeks. And I see this being a long series. This is easily going to go 6 games. No one's sweeping this series.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking to you. Thanks so much for the insight. And again, I'll talk to you about an hour and a half.
Jason here from Carmichael. You could chime in there as well.
There you go, Jason. Hop on in. Hijack the show.
I will.
Thank you, sir. You take care.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That is Greg Papa. We're way late for a break. When we come back, speaking of the Warriors, we've got audio from yesterday from their practice. Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Jordan Poole.